Hello everybody, my name is Bob, and this is Desperate Space Program. Now, we have really sort of reached the limit of what we can do with our earliest booster types. Our two moon colonizing nations have gotten their heads together to create a new hopefully moon-capable rocket. With the jet engine first stage and all the rest of this. The idea being we need to keep the initial size of the spacecraft as small as possible to save money. This is a new booster design that they have collaborated upon. The idea here is that this would get to the moon and be able to take the two cosmonauts back to Kerbal when the time comes, but it also can be used eventually as a unmanned booster to launch them up rovers and other toys to play with. So let's check our staging right quick. I think it's okay. Let's go ahead and try to launch it. This is the Oidvoid 1. Sort of a odd egg-shaped construction. Throttle to maximum, SAS on, jet engine start. And hopefully lift off. This is completely untested. Oh, I've got two guys in there. Don't want that. All right, that was a test flight because Jebediah insisted on riding on it a little ways. So this is the real flight. Throttle to maximum. SAS on. Jet engine start. And lift off. May not have enough fuel in the jet fuel tank to feed these guys these engines all the way, because they're pretty hungry. We'll see how it goes. May have to add another little tank for jet fuel. Though it's going like a bat out of hell, so perhaps it'll do fine. Okay, standing by for our gravity turn. And gravity turn. Stay back. Back you. Back. Okay, we're gaining vertical altitude at a much higher than desirable rate. Control issues are an issue. Okay. Well, that told us a couple different things. It's pretty durable as far as spitting itself apart is concerned. Yeah, it had plenty of liquid fuel. Need to have a little bit more control. Okay, I put some fins on the bottom and also a proper SAS module. So hopefully that'll allow us to keep control better. We also probably maybe need to do our gravity turn a little earlier than we had last time. Throttle to maximum, SAS on, simply for the reason of wanting to get over and start moving horizontally as quickly as we can. In 3, 2, 1, go. Jet engine start. And lift off. We're going to probably start a gravity turn around 8,000 meters. Not because that's not the most efficient thing to do, but that's probably more practical in terms of keeping it under control as we're tilting it over, trying to get going as reasonably horizontal as possible above 15,000 meters. Okay, gravity turn. Much smoother this time. Much less problematic. And given the speed at which we're traveling, I'm going to go ahead and tilt over a little more. Getting a little toasty there. Okay, that should be fine. I don't think liquid fuel is going to be a problem. Let's see. We didn't get quite as far up in the atmosphere this time, but I was not okay with the idea of letting those jet engines run completely out of air. That could have been a mistake. Probably not a grave mistake, but that's the problem with having the multiple jet engines is that when you have one flame out, it's just gonna go crazy. It's gonna go crazy. I got to get it up to at least about 82. Or, yeah, that should be fine. Because I'm still in the atmosphere, and so there's still enough atmospheric friction to bring that aquapsis down a bit. So. I've been looking for mods for larger jet engines because obviously it would be better to have a single very large jet engine rather than for normal size engines. Or alternately, some way of turning the engines off the instant that that one of the engines loses power. But we work with what we have. And of course, these little engines are not nearly as efficient as the nuclear engine we had on our last one, but they are much lower weight. And when you're talking about a very small craft like this, that weight can matter. Okay, considerations. That one's empty. So those will be empty by the time we get to the Mun. I'm not happy with the way this turned out. I'm going to go ahead and retry it. The space programs of the UKKR and the Probule Federation are in disarray. They have no boosters capable of returning their astronauts to Kerbal, and they don't have money to develop new ones just yet. Enter the Muricans, the Murican Union. That's not it. Marco 1. The lunar ship of the Murican Union. It's wrong flag. There you go. Now I've got these solid rocket boosters on here because I imagine that if I didn't have them on there, this thing would flop on the tarmac like a dead sea mammal. But I have not tested this. I don't know what's going to happen. This has got enough. Let's not have Jebediah there. Let's have New Gun Kermit. That's an American name. We have room for to bring the other astronauts back if we so desire. We also have a little present for them. They're trying to in this reality they're trying to make up for the fact they weren't first to the moon by getting their biggest. They got a little flying rover here for them to play with. You want to close this? You see here. It would land on its tail fins and then return, jettison this fin here, and then land like an airplane is the idea. None of this has been tested, so we'll find out how it works here in just a minute. Yes. Let me go check a few things and we'll be right back. Launching to the moon for America. Throttle to maximum. SAS on. Jet engine start. I have no air intakes. Okay, we have air intakes now. Throttle to maximum, SAS on. This is a preposterous vehicle. I fully expect it to just explode. I mean, you know, I don't expect anything from it. It's what I'm telling you. I expect them to die, is what I'm saying. The hell? That's good. It's got some powerful lights on the landing gear. I suppose since we're not going to actually use the landing gear yet, we probably should retract, raise them gears, so that somebody doesn't have a conniption. Okay, SAS on, jet engine start. This is a preposterous vehicle. I fully expect it to explode and die and kill Roster and New Gun Kerman. Solid rocket start in 3, 2, 1. Heading for solid rocket jettison. That'd be our first waypoint here on this journey. Solid rocket jettison. Obviously we're going to drop down quite a bit as far as velocity goes. Basically that was just to get it off the ground going fast enough to where it didn't just flop on the ground like a dead sea mammal. Bit of a control issue. bit of control issues. Control issues. Control issues. Flying like a manatee. It really does not fly well. I have a real hard time picking up the nose, and it's sort of wobbling back and forth in a highly alarming manner. I don't trust these new ailerons, man. Well, evidently I need more control surfaces than that, so. Now with 5 times the number of control surfaces for more control surfaces. Jet engine start in 3, 2, 1. Solid rocket booster ignition and liftoff. Wow, it's really wobbly. I guess the number of control surfaces may have something to do with that. Standing by for a solid booster separation. Solid booster separation. It's smoothing out a little bit. Probably a little bit of a bumpy ride for those guys. They look a little bit alarmed. They do look a little bit alarmed. Okay, 10,000 meters. Still a little bit wobbly. Little wobbletation going on. Lots of wobbletation going on. Really moving around a lot. Nose still not getting up. We need more nosy liftiness. This amount of nosy liftiness is not going to cut it. No. The Murican 1 now with more nosy liftiness. In 3, 2, 1, jet engine start. And liftoff. Seems a lot smoother now. A lot smoother on liftoff. Standing by for solid booster jet separation. Solid booster separation. All systems appear to be nominal. Our astronauts are not looking very happy. Looking a little dubious about the whole thing. Yeah, not really great visibility in this thing either. Okay. However, all systems appear to be nominal. 11,000 meters. The nosy liftiness is doing its job. Go ahead and retract our landing gear. $15,000 meters. $16,000 meters. 17. Let's go ahead and level it off just a bit. All systems appear to be nominal. Flight profile is a little bit high, but it looks like we can correct that. 22,000 meters. All systems are nominal. At some point I'll probably have to turn on the RCS to get it to be controllable, which would be bad because we don't have that much RCS. Approaching 1,000 meters a second. $23,500 meters. All systems appear to be remaining nominal. Jet thrust remains good. There's some aerodynamic heating on the airframe. Intake air remains good. Our next significant action will be to start the nuclear engines. They're already warmed up there in their little casings, ready to spew out neutrons. Yes. Thrust remains good. 28,300 meters. Air intake remains acceptable. $33,000 meters. We've had to cut off the jet engines for lack of air. This is understandable considering the altitude. We just need to make sure that we get pointed upwards in an upwards direction, that we may make orbit. RCS is not quite giving us as much as we would like in terms of control, but I think we have it under control. Monopropellant levels reaching 120 out of 140. That's acceptable usage. The ship is pointed straight up at this point. Attempting to get as much altitude as possible. The fuel consumption looks good. Apoapsis is currently 62,000 meters. Apoapsis is now 30,000 meters. That is high enough to get out of the atmosphere. We're going to begin to level it off. Let's go ahead and we'll turn off the our reaction control system because we don't want to waste the reaction control fuel. We're going to go ahead and tilt it over. Hoping that our inertial control system can maintain enough control over the spacecraft without the RCS. Okay, ship is now tilted completely to the horizontal. All systems appear nominal. And it's a good-looking ship. Roster and Nugan appear to be a little bit more optimistic about their chances. Okay, we're going to go ahead and shut down the nuclear engines for right now, just to conserve fuel until we coast to our apoapsis. That is a pretty cool looking spacecraft, I have to admit. Maybe not a very sensible spacecraft. It's a pretty cool spacecraft. Pretty cool looking. The power generation is all nuclear. Got some couple RTGs, so I don't even need solar panels. Because of the lack of the power of the nuclear engines, I'll be starting the burn at the apoapsis fairly early, probably about T-minus 45, because just don't have much thrust there. Okay. Okay, we're still coming up on our apoapsis here. Okay. I'll be able to reduce the thrust here in a minute. We don't have a super abundance of liquid fuel. We'll be running on the nuclear engine, so that'll make it better. But we don't have just a super abundance of liquid fuel. May have to send up a tanker to refuel it. Yeah, considering the fact that we're gonna have to go home, we're definitely gonna have to send up a tanker to refuel it. It does have a docking port. Let's show that right quick. So probably what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to send up a refueling spacecraft of some sort to dock with that and tank up the fill up fuel tanks, and so that they'll have enough fuel to get to the moon. Because otherwise, not gonna do it. Let's come up on our. Let's finish off our orbit here. Yeah, good enough. Okay. I guess our next step is to refuel a bitch and I actually might create a space plane with a probe core instead of pilots. Have it come up here and refuel these guys. To what degree that's going to be on camera or not, I don't know. But I think that's about all for right now. We're going to have our regularly scheduled mini series of Jebediah Kerbal Air Ace. This is the Murican refueler, and well, there's been some issues. Yeah, okay. It's a experimental probe. Yes. Okay. Well, perhaps needs to go to the drawing board. Yeah. This is the Murican 4. Why there is a Murican 4, I shall explain in a moment once I get this thing into orbit. And the one we launched before being a Murican, not America, Murican 1. Handsome looking spacecraft. Murican 1 has a problem. Murican 1 has a problem. The rear landing gear are pigeon-toed. I found this out when I was trying to launch a refueler, a spaceplane refueler, and the landing gear pigeon-toed under the spacecraft and caused the wings to crash into the ground, which caused the airplane not to go. So what we're going to do is these guys are the guys who are going to go to the moon. And next episode we're going to try to return Murican 1 safely to the ground, even though the landing gears are probably going to pigeon toe upon touching the tarmac. But at least we won't be killing any foreign astronauts. Worst comes to worst, we'll kill our own, but we won't kill the moon cosmonauts. I will have to refuel this one, just like the Murican 1. Actually, need to refuel this one more. Apparently, we had a little more fuel consumption, but I have more engines, so it means I had to cut off the engines sooner. Okay. Murican 4 is in orbit. It has a docking port like Murican 1. It has 2 more engines because I was having issues with controls. Basically, control getting up would basically relating to the fact that it was very underpowered during the jet engine phase. So there's 2 more jet engines, and the landing gear are not pigeon-toed. But the next time we'll have to get Murican 1 back to the ground, hopefully in one piece. And then we're going to send up a robotic refueling spaceplane to refuel Murican 4. Jebediah Kerbal in his new stunt plane, the Midnight Special 3, Yep. Untested, because that's how Jebediah rolls. He's just working out some nerves here, not quite ready to make the pass. Not quite ready. Working out some quick nerves. He has to get this aligned just right. And his air brakes don't work properly, but that's okay. He doesn't care. Lost a little bit of part here. Lost a little bit of his the whole thing. Yes. Yes. Well, like guys, something is flying off by itself. Where is it? Some part of his airplane is flying off by itself. What part that is, we are not certain. It appears there is some part of his plane that's still operating. Didn't quite make it this time, but it was a new plane. He needs to work out some of the kinks first. He needs to find his propeller again. And that's all here from the Kerbal Space Center. Must be very disappointing for Jebediah, but you know, he should be used to it by now. Well, god damn it.